The stars shimmered cold and distant, a quiet canvas for the chaos about to unfold. A massive alien fleet moved through the void, its sharp edges glinting under distant suns. On the command bridge of the flagship, a tall, blue-skinned alien turned. To its companions, eyes narrowing. "Do you see that?" it hissed. "That tiny ship that is supposed to fight us?" A ripple of laughter echoed through the bridge. The aliens leaned forward, curious but mocking. Their weapons bristled like the teeth of a predator. "It's a human ship," one sneered, "and humans are weak. This is a joke." Far away, the small human starship drifted almost lazily, its hull battered and scratched, far smaller than the alien vessels surrounding it. Inside, the crew moved with calm precision, checking panels, adjusting controls. Their captain, a woman with sharp eyes and a calm voice, looked at her crew. "Stay focused," she said. "They are confident. That is our advantage." A young pilot frowned. "Captain, they outnumber us 100 to 1. Even a small fleet can wipe us out in minutes." The captain smiled faintly. "Numbers mean nothing if they cannot see what's coming." She turned to the sensors. "Prepare the decoys. Keep shields at minimal. They will underestimate us." The aliens laughed again, their voices a mix of amusement and arrogance. "Look at them," said the commander, an imposing figure with armored plates over his chest. "They think they can challenge us? Send the first wave. Make it quick." Explosions burst across the void as small alien fighters darted forward, firing beams of energy that lit up the darkness. The human ship trembled under the first shots, but the crew moved as if rehearsed. "Deploy decoy drones," the captain commanded. Tiny holographic ships popped into existence, scattering in multiple directions. Alien weapons fired, hitting nothing but illusions. "What trickery is this?" shouted one alien officer. "All our shots, they are missing." The captain leaned back in her chair. "It is only the beginning," she murmured. Outside, the human ship darted forward, almost like it had a mind of its own. The alien fleet tried to track it, but its movements were unpredictable. Suddenly, it vanished behind a swirling asteroid field. "Impossible," the blue-skinned alien commander roared. "They should not be able to maneuver like that." Inside the human ship, the crew shared brief smiles but stayed focused. The sensors lit up again, showing distant readings. The captain's eyes narrowed. "They are regrouping. Keep your positions. Wait for the right moment." The alien fleet gathered, forming an intimidating wall of steel and firepower. "This is too easy," one alien said nervously. Should we retreat?" "No," the commander snapped. "We finish this now." "They are nothing but a small, weak human ship. Aim carefully. Destroy them before they can react." Meanwhile, the humans had activated something hidden. A soft hum filled the ship, subtle but ominous. The captain watched the sensors. Energy levels steady. Phase 1 ready. The aliens, confident and laughing, did not notice the tiny ripples in space forming around the human ship. Their fleet approached, closing in like a predator, circling prey. Then, with a sudden pulse, the human ship emitted a bright flare, and the space around it seemed to twist. Alien sensors went haywire. "What is happening?" an alien officer screamed. "Our readings, nothing makes sense." The captain stood, calm and commanding. "Fire the first wave," she said, but not directly. The human ship released a series of electromagnetic pulses that disabled the targeting systems of nearby alien fighters. Ships collided, energy beams missed their mark, and chaos erupted. The alien commander banged his fists against the console. "This cannot be. How can a single ship cause this?" The captain watched silently, the hum of the ship beneath her feet almost soothing. "They laughed at us," she said quietly. "They mocked a human ship, but we are not what they expected." From a small viewport, a young crew member gasped. "Look, they're falling apart. They're turning on each other." "Yes," the captain replied. Confusion is as powerful as weapons. Outside, alien ships collided and exploded, some firing wildly into empty space. The human ship slipped through the gaps, almost dancing among the chaos. The alien commander turned to the remaining ships. "Fall back, regroup. We cannot let them survive." But the humans did not give chase. They remained patient, calm, observing and calculating. The captain's voice carried a quiet determination. "This is only the first lesson," she said. "They underestimated us. That is their mistake." As the alien fleet limped away, wounded and humiliated, the tiny human ship floated alone, scarred but untouched. The crew exhaled, relief mixed with tension. "They think this is over," the captain said. "They do not know what we are capable of yet." A young engineer looked at her nervously. "Captain, do you think they will return?" "They will," she said, eyes fixed on the stars ahead. "And when they do, they will remember this day. The day the joke Starship became their nightmare." The stars continued to shine, indifferent to the battle, as the small human ship sailed forward, calm, quiet, unseen. The galaxy would soon learn that appearances were deceiving, and the smallest ship could carry the deadliest secrets. The alien fleet vanished from the human sensors, but their presence lingered, a warning etched into the silence of space. And within the quiet hum of the small ship, the human crew prepared for what was coming, ready to turn the mockery into legend. The human starship floated silently in the dark void, its small hull scarred but intact. Inside, the crew worked calmly, checking systems and reviewing their next moves. The alien fleet had retreated, but their shadow still lingered on the sensors, damaged, confused but dangerous. The captain leaned over the console, eyes scanning the flickering holographic displays. "They are regrouping," she said. "They will be back, stronger and angrier. We cannot be careless." A young pilot frowned. "Captain, do we really stand a chance against them? They outnumber us by hundreds." "Numbers do not matter," the captain replied softly. "They judge strength by size and firepower. We have other tools: patience, planning, and surprise." She turned toward the engineer. "Status report." "Shields are stable," the engineer said, fingers flying. "Over the controls. Weapons ready. The decoy drones are operational. We can create confusion again if needed." The captain nodded. "Good. Let's make them pay for underestimating us." Outside, sensors picked up movement. A small alien reconnaissance ship approaching the system. It moved quickly, scanning, probing for weaknesses. "They're testing us," the pilot said. "It's just a scout, but it's smart." The captain studied the readings. "Do not engage directly. Let it get close. Prepare the countermeasure, but wait for my command." The scout ship flickered, weaving through space with a strange, jerky pattern. Inside, the aliens aboard whispered among themselves. "They escaped last time, but this time we will catch them," one said. "They cannot hide forever." The human ship remained still, almost invisible. Its hull reflected starlight, blending with the void. The scout drew nearer, scanning every angle, sending data back to the main fleet. "Now," the captain commanded. The engineer activated the ship's hidden device. A sudden wave of energy rippled through space. The alien scout's sensors went haywire. It tried to retreat, but the human ship's small thrusters had already guided it into a trap corridor. "What is happening?" the scout pilot yelled. We can't control it." Inside the human ship, the crew remained calm. "Lock the maneuver," the captain ordered. "We're taking them alive, for now." The scout's engines faltered, and it drifted helplessly into a containment field projected by the human ship. The aliens inside stared in disbelief. "How can such a small ship control us?" one gasped. The captain walked past the console, voice steady but firm. "This is not about size or firepower. This is about intelligence, precision, and timing. You thought humans were weak. You were wrong. The young pilot looked at the captured scout. Captain, what do we do with them? We learn, the captain said simply. They are our window into the fleet. Everything we see now, we use. Knowledge is the deadliest weapon. The alien scout transmitted a warning signal to the main fleet, but it was scrambled, distorted. The human ship's cloaking and interference technology made it almost impossible for the aliens to trace. The fleet grew anxious, confused. Where is the human ship hiding? They cannot be far, the alien commander barked. Inside the human ship. The crew shared brief smiles, but the captain's expression remained serious. They will come for us, she said. They always do. But when they arrive, they will find chaos instead of victory. Suddenly, a new signal appeared. On the sensors, it was faint, irregular, and unlike any human or alien pattern. What is that? The pilot asked nervously. Unknown, the captain said, frowning. But it's close. Prepare shields. Keep weapons ready. This may be another trap. The unknown signal approached, revealing a lone vessel, much larger than the previous scout. Its design was strange, angular, almost organic, unlike the rigid structures of the main alien fleet. The engineer studied the readings. Captain, this ship isn't firing, but it is scanning everything. Sensors are unpredictable. The captain's eyes narrowed. They're testing our reactions, measuring our capabilities. Let's give them a small lesson. She tapped a command. The human ship projected a series of holographic duplicates, each one slightly different in speed and trajectory. The alien vessel hesitated, confused by the swarm of moving images. Its sensors struggled to distinguish real from false. Impossible! A voice hissed through the communication channel. There is more than one. How can one ship create this? The captain remained calm. One ship, yes, but not one mind. Strategy and creativity are just as important as numbers. The alien ship tried to fire, but its energy beams missed, striking only empty space. They are mocking us, the alien commander shouted. They are playing with our weapons. Let them play, the captain murmured. We are setting the stage. The holographic duplicates drew the alien vessel into a narrow corridor formed by asteroids. Trapped and disoriented, the alien ship struggled, its engines straining, weapons firing blindly. The human crew watched patiently, ready to strike at the perfect moment. Hours passed in tense silence. The human ship moved with calculated patience, never showing weakness, never panicking. Outside, the alien fleet waited, unable to predict the human ship's location or tactics. Every sensor reading was uncertain, every approach a potential trap. Finally, the alien vessel broke off, limping back toward the main fleet. Its message was clear. Humans were more dangerous than expected. The fleet itself began to hesitate, recalling previous defeats and cautious not to fall into the same traps. Inside the human ship, the captain addressed her crew. They are learning the hard way that size does not equal power, and that intelligence can turn the smallest ship into the deadliest weapon. The young pilot smiled, a mix of relief and excitement. Captain, do you think we can really stop the main fleet when they come? The captain's eyes gleamed with determination. We will not just stop them, we will make them regret ever underestimating humans. They think the joke Starship is weak, but they are about to see what it can really do. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly, silent witnesses to the slow, patient build-up of power. The human ship drifted forward, calm, calculating, almost invisible in the void. The galaxy had not yet understood the danger hiding in that small hull, but it would soon. The alien fleet retreated for now, but their fear was growing. They whispered among themselves, "The humans, we cannot predict them. We cannot destroy them easily." And inside the human ship, the crew prepared for the battles to come, their hearts steady, their minds sharp, and their patience unbreakable. They were small, yes, but in the vastness of space, even the smallest ship could become a nightmare. The alien fleet had retreated for now, but inside their command ship, fear and confusion ran like wildfire. The smaller human ship had outsmarted them twice, leaving their pilots frustrated and angry. "This is impossible," shouted one alien officer. "A single ship. It should not be able to do this to us." The alien commander slammed his clawed hand on the console. "I want answers. Where is this human ship hiding? How are they doing this?" In the human ship, the crew remained calm. Their captain stood over the controls, eyes scanning the fleet's movement. "They think they can recover," she said quietly, "but they are already reacting the way we want. Fear makes them weak. Confusion makes them worse." A young pilot frowned. "Captain, how can we use that? They still have numbers on their side." The captain's eyes glinted. "We create mistakes for them. One small ship, one clever mind, can turn their strength into their weakness." She tapped a few controls. "Deploy the interference drones. Make it look like we are in multiple locations at once." Outside, tiny, glimmering devices unfolded from the human ship, scattering like fireflies. Each emitted pulses that interfered with the alien fleet's sensors. The aliens saw dozens of human ships where there was only one. "They are multiplying," one pilot yelled. "Which one is real?" Inside the human ship, the crew watched monitors silently, hearts steady. The engineer smiled. "They are falling for it. Their formations are breaking apart." The alien commander roared, "Focus! Target one! Destroy it!" But every attack went wrong. Alien beams hit empty space, or worse, collided with their own ships. Panic spread. "Why are our weapons failing?" a blue-skinned officer screamed. "Our fleet, it's chaos!" The captain leaned back, voice calm. "Do you see? They cannot predict us. And when they cannot predict, they make mistakes." Hours passed as the human ship played its quiet, deadly game. The fleet tried to regroup, but each attempt failed. Alien ships fired at holograms, collided with one another, or strayed into asteroid fields that had been carefully mapped and marked by the human crew. One young alien officer turned to the commander, voice shaking. "Sir, we are losing pilots to friendly fire. Some of the ships have even abandoned formation." The commander slammed his claw again. "No, stop this madness. We cannot allow one small ship to destroy our fleet from a distance." Inside the human ship, the captain issued another order. "Activate the EMP pulses. Just a small shock, enough to confuse them further. Keep it subtle. Don't expose ourselves." A hum traveled through space as invisible waves disrupted alien electronics. Engines misfired, sensors went blank, and their ships spun uncontrollably. "It's impossible!" the commander screamed again. "They are everywhere, yet nowhere." Young pilot on the human ship watched the chaos. "Captain, they are tearing themselves apart." "Yes," the captain said, eyes fixed on the screens. "And they don't even realize it. Fear and confusion are the deadliest weapons in the galaxy." Meanwhile, in the alien fleet, whispers spread among officers and pilots. "Humans, they are smarter than we imagined. We cannot predict them. One ship, it's a nightmare." The alien commander growled, feeling the walls of control slipping away. "Send reinforcements. We will surround them next time. No tricks can save them forever." But the human crew anticipated this. Another set of holographic projections and decoy drones moved into position, creating false signals and phantom ships. The aliens followed, their fleet splitting and stumbling into traps of their own making. "Captain, we have visual on their flagship," said the young pilot. "They are still trying to recover." The captain smiled faintly. "Good, let them see it. Let them feel their frustration. Every moment they panic, they lose control." Suddenly, a small, sleek alien ship broke off from the fleet, heading straight for the human vessel at high speed. "An attack!" the engineer shouted. "It's coming fast!" "Not yet," the captain said calmly. "Let it approach. Time it. We will use it as an example." The alien ship closed in, firing erratically. Its beams were strong but miscalculated, hitting nothing but decoys. As it neared, the human ship activated a hidden gravitational field, pulling the ship slightly off course. The alien pilot struggled, alarms blaring. "This cannot be," the alien yelled. "We cannot control it." With a precise maneuver, the human ship's thrusters nudged the alien vessel into a drift path, guiding it toward a holographic decoy. The alien ship collided with the projection, disintegrating in a harmless but dramatic explosion. The human crew exhaled, tension releasing slightly. "One less threat," the captain said. "But the rest will come. Patience. Patience is key." Outside, the alien fleet slowed, confusion evident in every movement. Their confidence was gone. The fleet's sensors were damaged, communication disrupted, and their pilots fearful. Every move seemed to invite another disaster. Inside the human ship, the crew prepared for the next wave. "They will try again," the captain said, "and next time they will make even bigger mistakes." The young pilot leaned back, eyes wide. "Captain, we've done so much with just one ship. Can we really keep this up against the full fleet?" "Yes," the captain said, "because we are not fighting like they do. We are using our minds, not just weapons. And that is something they cannot copy." The stars stretched endlessly around them, indifferent and silent witnesses to the human crew's quiet brilliance. The alien fleet, once proud and terrifying, now moved like frightened animals, unsure of where to strike or who to trust. "Remember this," the captain said, addressing her crew. "We are small, but clever. We are underestimated, but precise. And in the void of space, even the smallest ship can become the deadliest nightmare." As the human vessel glided forward, calm and unseen, the alien fleet limped back to regroup, carrying a new fear in their hearts. They whispered among themselves, "One ship, one human ship. It has defeated us without even showing its true power." The human crew knew the real battle had yet to come, but for now they had won the war of minds. And in that silent, tense victory, they prepared for the storm that was sure to follow. The human ship drifted through the blackness of space, quiet and almost invisible. The alien fleet had been shaken, their confidence shattered. Inside the human vessel, the crew moved calmly, checking sensors, adjusting shields, and planning the next move. The captain stood over the main console, eyes sharp and focused. "They will come back," she said. "Stronger, angrier, and more cautious. We must be ready." The young pilot leaned forward, worry in his voice. "Captain, they have the numbers? Hundreds of ships. We're still just one." "One?" the captain replied with a faint smile. "We are more than that. Strategy, patience, and precision. These are our weapons, and they are blind to them." Outside, the alien fleet reassembled. Their ships moved cautiously, sensors sweeping the darkness. "We must trap them this time," the alien commander growled. "No more mistakes. One ship." "You cannot humiliate us twice," the human ship's engineer spoke quietly. "Captain, I've prepped the EMP bursts. If we time it right, we can disable a whole section of their fleet for minutes." The captain nodded. "Good. But wait. Timing is everything. We strike when they are overconfident." Hours passed in tense silence. The alien fleet crept closer, their formation tighter, but their movements nervous. They had learned caution, but it was too late to regain their confidence. The young pilot spoke again. "Captain, sensors detect their lead squadron. They are probing, not trying to force a fight." "Let them probe," the captain said. "They are walking into our plan." Suddenly the ship shivered as a pulse hit the hull. The aliens had fired, but their beams struck nothing. Decoy drones had scattered, creating illusions. Several alien ships collided in the confusion, and one small fighter disintegrated in a brilliant flash. "Patience," the captain whispered. "Let them make mistakes first." The aliens regrouped, furious but careful. Their fleet split into two, attempting to flank the human ship. "Concentrate fire," the commander bellowed. "Hit it from both sides. Do not let it escape." Inside the human ship, the crew moved like a single organism. "Activate the EMP," the captain ordered. A soft hum vibrated through the ship as pulses of energy radiated outward. Alien sensors failed. Weapons misfired, and engines sputtered. Ships spun out of control, colliding with each other or drifting helplessly in space. Young pilot's eyes widened. "Captain, they're falling apart again." "Yes," she said calmly, "and they don't even know why." One alien officer turned to his commander, voice shaking. "Sir, our ships, they are destroying each other. We cannot coordinate." The commander slammed his clawed hand on the console. "No, this is impossible. A single human ship cannot do this." The captain leaned back, voice steady. "They cannot think like us. They cannot predict. And when they panic, they break." A small group of alien ships attempted to fire at the human vessel directly, but holographic duplicates made it impossible to tell the real ship from the projections. Their beams missed, striking nothing but empty space. Another fighter collided with an asteroid, exploding instantly. Why are we losing?" a blue-skinned alien shouted. "We outnumber them. How can one ship—" "They are clever," another alien interrupted, voice trembling. "We underestimated humans. It is their mind, not their weapons." Inside the human ship, the engineer smiled faintly. "Captain, shields are holding, weapons are ready. We can push them further if you want." The captain studied the sensors, her expression unreadable. "Not yet. We need them to break fully, not just stumble. Keep them confused. Let fear guide them." Outside, the alien fleet panicked further. Ships turned on each other, beams misfired, and engines overstrained. The human ship drifted among the chaos, calm and almost invisible, watching the destruction unfold. One small alien fighter, desperate, tried to flee. The human ship fired a carefully aimed pulse that disabled its engines, sending it spinning helplessly. "Another lesson," the captain murmured. Hours stretched like minutes. The human ship moved silently, striking only when necessary. Every maneuver was precise, every attack subtle, ensuring maximum effect with minimal exposure. Finally, the alien commander called for a retreat. "Fall back!" he roared. "We regroup! We cannot handle this!" Inside the human ship, the crew exhaled collectively, tension releasing in small waves. The captain's eyes remained focused on the retreating fleet. "They think they have survived," she said quietly. "But they will remember today forever." The young pilot looked up. "Captain, they still have hundreds of ships. Can we really defeat all of them?" The captain's gaze swept the stars ahead. "We do not need to defeat them all at once. We only need to make them afraid. Fear makes them weak, and weak enemies make clever ships strong." Outside, the alien fleet limped into the darkness, their pride shattered, their confidence gone. They whispered among themselves, "We cannot predict them. We cannot destroy them. One ship. It has become our nightmare." Inside the human ship, the crew began repairs and recalibration. The decoy drones were retrieved, shields reinforced, and weapons readied. "The next wave will come," the captain said, "and when it does, we strike again, with precision and patience. They will learn that humans are not to be underestimated." The stars stretched endlessly, silent and indifferent, witnesses to the quiet brilliance of the small human vessel. A ship that seemed weak, almost laughable, had become the center of a storm. "Captain," the engineer said softly, "they will never see it coming." "No," she said with a faint smile, "and that is how we win." As the human ship drifted, Forward, calm and unbroken, the galaxy began to take notice. Legends do not start with fire and explosions. They start with a quiet, patient mind. And the human ship, the so-called joke, had just begun to write its legend. The human ship floated silently through the void, calm and unbroken after another victorious skirmish. Inside, the crew moved with steady precision, repairing systems, reinforcing shields, and checking the status of every decoy drone. Though the alien fleet had retreated, tension lingered in the air. Everyone knew this was only a pause before the next attack. The captain walked slowly across the bridge, her eyes fixed on the stars beyond the hull. "They will come back," she said, quietly. "Angrier this time, but they still do not understand us. And until they do, we have the advantage." The young pilot leaned forward nervously. "Captain, why do they fear us so much? It's just one ship. It looks weak." The captain smiled faintly. "That is exactly why they fear us. Appearances can be deceiving. This ship was never meant to look powerful. Its strength lies hidden." The engineer glanced up from his console. "Captain, you mean the experimental systems? The ones they never expected humans to develop?" "Yes," she replied. "They laughed at the hull, the size, even the outdated exterior. But inside, it carries technology they cannot comprehend." The pilot tilted his head. "Captain, why call it a joke then?" "Because that is what it was," she said. "A joke to them. Something they would mock and underestimate. And underestimation is dangerous for any enemy. It is the perfect disguise for power." Outside, the stars seemed quiet, almost indifferent, but the sensors picked up movement, faint blips, a fleet approaching from deep space. The alien forces had returned, this time larger and more cautious. "They're coming," the captain said softly, a gleam in her eyes. "But this time, they won't know where to strike. We will make them see ghosts before they find the real." A ship, the engineer activated the holographic decoys. 100 images of the human vessel appeared, each moving slightly differently. The alien fleet's sensors would have trouble telling which was real. "Captain," the young pilot said, voice tense, "they're scanning. They seem careful. They're not rushing in like last time." "Exactly," the captain replied. "Fear slows them. Overthinking slows them. Let them think they have the advantage while we decide the real moves." A sudden alert flashed. "On the sensor panel. Unknown energy signature approaching," the engineer said. "It's not human, not one of the aliens we fought. It's something else." The captain's expression hardened. "Prepare shields and weapons. Stay calm. We do not know if it's a threat or an opportunity." As the unknown ship neared, it revealed itself, a sleek, angular vessel with strange markings, unlike anything the crew had ever seen. Its energy readings were unlike the alien fleet's conventional weapons, almost organic in their pattern. "Captain, it's huge," the pilot whispered, "and powerful." "Yes," the captain said, "but strength alone does not win battles. Strategy does, and we have that in abundance." The unknown ship stopped at a distance, observing. Then, slowly, it broadcast a signal, a series of symbols and tones. The crew watched in silence as the computer attempted to decode the message. The engineer frowned. "It's difficult. Not a language, but some kind of pattern. I think it's a warning." The captain's eyes narrowed. "A warning or a test. Either way, it confirms one thing: we are being watched. Someone or something knows this ship carries more than they expected." The young pilot looked anxious. "Captain, what do we do?" "We do what we've always done," she replied. "We stay calm, stay hidden, and let our enemies reveal their weaknesses. Let them make mistakes while we remain ready." Hours passed. The unknown ship lingered at a distance, occasionally sending small scouting drones toward the human vessel. Each drone was destroyed by precise maneuvers and subtle energy pulses, leaving the unknown ship hesitant, but not retreating. The captain addressed her crew. They are curious. They see us as fragile yet capable. That curiosity is a weapon we can use. If they advance recklessly, we can turn it against them. A sudden transmission from the alien fleet interrupted their focus. The human ship's sensors picked up the message, a trembling, fearful broadcast. They are saying, the engineer said, voice low. They know the human ship is dangerous. They're calling it a nightmare. The captain smiled. Good. Fear is our ally. They cannot destroy what they do not understand, and they cannot control what they fear. The young pilot leaned forward. Captain, do they suspect what's inside? The real power of this ship? They suspect nothing, she said, and that is why it is perfect. This ship was designed for small crews, high-risk operations, and maximum effect. They mocked it, laughed at it, and that made them careless. Outside, the unknown ship adjusted its position, closer now, observing. Its energy reading suggested advanced shielding, faster movement, and unpredictable tactics. The human crew prepared, knowing the coming encounter could reveal more than just the aliens' fear. It might show why their starship had been built as it was. Engineer, keep the decoys ready. Pilot, stay alert. Every maneuver counts. The captain instructed. The crew followed orders with quiet precision. Each knew the stakes were higher than ever. The aliens had been shaken, but the real test was still ahead. A faint hum pulsed through the ship, a subtle reminder of the experimental systems beneath their feet. It's waiting, the captain whispered. For the right moment it will unleash its strength, and the galaxy will finally see why the joke was never a joke at all. The stars stretched endlessly beyond the hull, indifferent to the small human ship drifting calmly among them. Yet within that calm, power slept, hidden and patient, ready to awaken when the time was right. The unknown ship observed, the alien fleet trembled, and the human crew remained poised. For now, the secret of the joke starship stayed concealed, a quiet threat in the darkness. But soon the hidden power would be revealed, and no one, not aliens nor unknown watchers, would underestimate it again. The captain turned to her crew, her voice steady and resolute. Remember this, they laugh because they do not know, and when they realize it will be too late. The crew nodded silently. Outside, the void of space stretched on, quiet, vast, and waiting. But within that vastness, a small human starship carried a secret that could change the balance of the galaxy, and the joke was about to become legend. The human starship glided silently through the endless black of space, its small hull glinting faintly in the distant starlight. Inside, the crew was tense but calm, each member ready for the storm they knew was coming. The alien fleet, once mocking and arrogant, had regrouped, their numbers larger and more careful this time. They're here, the young pilot said, eyes glued to the sensor display. All of them, hundreds of ships. The captain's eyes were sharp and focused, and they still do not understand us. That is our advantage. They see numbers. We see opportunity. A sudden alert lit the bridge. Incoming fire! The base engineer shouted. They've started the attack. Outside, alien beams streaked toward the human vessel, blazing trails of light across the void. The decoy drones scattered instantly, creating dozens of false targets. Alien weapons fired again, striking empty space, asteroids, or colliding with each other. They're panicking already, the captain murmured. Let them. The young pilot adjusted the ship's course. Captain, if they keep firing, they'll destroy each other. That's the plan, the captain replied. Precision is not just about hitting the enemy. It's about guiding them into their own mistakes. The alien commander's voice echoed through the communication network, trembling with frustration. Focus. Attack the real ship. Stop chasing illusions. Inside the human ship, the crew activated the hidden energy systems. A soft hum filled the vessel, subtle but deadly. The ship's thrusters glowed, invisible currents rippling through space. The human vessel darted unpredictably, weaving through. Enemy fire while remaining calm, almost like a predator playing with its prey. "Captain, shields are at maximum. Weapons are ready," the engineer said. "Good," she replied. "Target the lead squadron. Just enough to keep them off balance. Do not overextend. Timing is everything." The human ship fired carefully calibrated pulses. The beams struck the alien lead squadron with precision, disabling engines and weapons without destroying the ships outright. The aliens scrambled, unable to understand how a single small vessel could cripple their formation. "What is happening?" an alien officer screamed. "Our ships! They cannot move. Our weapons! Failing!" "They are learning too late," the captain said. "They underestimated humans. That is their greatest weakness." Suddenly, a small group of alien ships tried to flank the human vessel. The captain anticipated this. "Activate the gravitational traps," she ordered. Invisible fields rippled outward, forcing the alien vessels into awkward positions, spinning some uncontrollably and leaving others vulnerable to precise shots. The young pilot's voice trembled with awe. "Captain, they're destroying themselves." "Yes," she said, "and it will get worse before it ends." Another pulse of energy surged through the human ship. The alien flagship's engines failed, spinning it helplessly into a narrow asteroid corridor. Its crew shouted, struggling to regain control. Meanwhile, smaller vessels collided, misfired, or abandoned formation entirely. The alien commander roared, "Retreat! Fall back! We cannot—" "No," one officer interrupted, voice shaking. "They are everywhere and nowhere. We are trapped." "In their tactics." The human captain watched silently, her eyes calm but her mind sharp. "This is the final lesson. Intelligence and strategy defeat brute force. Creativity and patience defeat arrogance." The alien fleet had no choice but to retreat. Hundreds of ships limped away, engines smoking, sensors failing, morale broken. The human ship remained untouched, its crew unshaken. The young pilot exhaled, relief flooding his voice. "Captain, we did it. They're gone." "For now," the captain replied. "But victory is not in the destruction. Victory is in the lesson they now carry: fear, respect, caution." The unknown ship from the previous encounter hovered at a distance, observing. Its energy readings pulsed with curiosity, perhaps awe. The captain's gaze met the sensors. "They will report what they have seen," she said quietly, "and they will spread the story. One ship, clever, small, and underestimated, has defeated a fleet." The engineer leaned back, exhausted, but smiling. "Captain, we've done more than survive. We've shown them that humans are not to be trifled with." "Yes," the captain said, "but we remain vigilant. There are others in this galaxy who will hear of this ship, and they will come. They will want to challenge us." The stars stretched endlessly beyond the human vessel, quiet witnesses to the calm after the storm. Yet within the quiet, power still slept, hidden, patient, and ready to awaken when the galaxy dared challenge humans again. The young pilot looked out the viewport, awed. "Captain, do you think they will ever see humans as weak again?" "They will," the captain said, voice steady and confident. "But it will not matter. They will have learned that even a small, seemingly fragile ship can carry the deadliest secrets. Intelligence, strategy, and patience, these are stronger than any fleet." The human ship continued its journey through the void, quiet, calm, and unseen. The galaxy would remember this day, the day the joke Starship became a nightmare. The alien fleet would whisper its name in fear, and the unknown watchers would report its power, wondering what else humans might hide. Inside, the crew prepared for whatever came next. Shields repaired, weapons recalibrated, decoys reset. Every member knew the battle had ended, but the war for respect in the galaxy was only beginning. The captain turned to her crew, voice firm and resolute. Remember this, they laughed because they did not understand. They underestimated us because appearances deceived them, and that is the advantage we will carry forward. The young pilot nodded, eyes bright. Captain, it's a legend now. Yes, the captain said, her voice soft but strong. A legend born from patience, intelligence, and courage. A legend that will remind the galaxy humans are never weak. The stars stretched endlessly, silent witnesses to the quiet brilliance of the smallest ship in the galaxy. The joke was no longer a joke. It had become a nightmare. And the crew of that ship, calm, clever, and unbroken, was ready for anything the universe could throw at them.